All right, guys. So I'm just going to start here with a new updated today being, what the heck is it, October 7th or 8th? Doesn't really matter, but yeah, 7th, right? So today being October 7th and some cold outreach DMs, right? So in this particular campaign, the few I'm going to do right now, I came across somebody's welcome post specifically in a coaching based group. When they do the welcome members, you guys kind of know my strategy, whoever's watching this, but just really quickly to recap, when a group that has kind of your ideal audience, and in two of my three businesses, we work with coaches. So that's why that one, is relevant here. But, when somebody already has an audience in a group with your ideal audience and they create a welcome post, they're putting the names of, say, in this case, there was about 80 new members of your ideal audience right in front of you. Again, whether they spent money to get them in their group, whether they're doing a lot of organic outreach, whatever they're doing, they're spending time and effort to put your ideal audience right here. Now, when they're welcoming to a new group, that means they don't have much loyalty. They haven't got value from that group quite yet. They're brand new in there. So I go through, and out of those 80 names in this case, I go through and kind of stereotype the profiles to find my ideal clients. And in this case, I sent out about 20 friend requests. So this is what I do next. And I sent those out yesterday. Usually I'm going to wait a little longer before the first outreach message, but I'm going to at least do those first few that accepted. And this same process would go, but I like to wait about 24 to 48 hours. I just wanted to do it now while I had time to record this. So first off, I'm going to go into my phone, and I'm going to do this on my phone and my laptop. So you're going to see what I'm looking at here on the screen on Facebook. On my phone, when I first open this, I'm going to go to the main menu, and then just at the top of the toolbar, I'm going to click on friends. And then it's going to say, I'm going to go next, click on the top right option at the top where it says your friends. And then I'm going to sort by newest. So you click the blue sort button, and then it brings up three options: default, newest friend request, first, oldest. So I go by newest. Now, these few that just accepted recently are going to be right here at the top, and I know I sent these out. So let me start off with a Nathan Gibson. So it's one of the ones, so I bring it up on my phone, but then I also bring it up on the laptop here, and I go to Nathan Gibson. And this is kind of what I do. I already know I sent a friend request because he's in one of the spaces that I work with, right? Business Marketing Engine looks more like an agency type thing, but I'm not quite sure there. He's a specialist at Business Marketing Engine, located in Indiana. Really quickly, I can see that he doesn't post a lot here. His birthday was a little over a month ago, and that looks to be like the last content on here was people writing on his wall. Prior to that, in August, he just updated that cover photo. So all this seems relatively new. Last thing I kind of look for, and I don't see it here, so I just want to look on here real quick, and I don't see it. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't even have the tagline or the bio, which now within Facebook usually shows right here down in your intro. But on the phone, on mobile, I'm saying on desktop, the one you're looking at, that's what I'm saying. On mobile, it would show, right under his name and right under the cover photo and the profile picture. So anyway, now I'm just going to reach out with him with the same strategy that I always do. So I'm just going to click on message on my phone. There it comes up. I'm going to click on voice note and just go right into it. Hey, Nathan. Hey, how are you, my man? Hey, my name's Ray, and I'm basically reaching out because it looks like we became connected here on Facebook in the last day or two. And rather than kind of remain strangers on this platform like many people seem to do, I actually like to reach out and get to know and network with everybody. The reason I probably connected with you is I'm sure we either know some, similar people or in some similar groups. I can't say I'm 100% sure how Facebook's algorithm works per se, but they usually do a pretty good job of like suggesting or recommending other individuals who are like-minded in terms of being entrepreneurial based, on being critical thinkers, people who are creative or creators. And just looking over your profile, looked like you ticked some of those boxes. It looks like you have this, I'm not sure if it's an agency, but some type of offer, geared around this business marketing engine. So just curious to hear a little more about that, man. How long you've been running this offer, and what you're looking to accomplish. Again, hope to hear back from you. Look forward to seeing some more of your content, and we'll chat soon, Nathan. So there's one. I'm going to go through and do, say, one or two more, and then I'll go over the framework one more time. So let me go back, and who was the next one on my thing? That would be a Jenny with two N. It's I.E. Thompson. So go back in here, bring up her profile really quick. I like to have it on the screen. That way, if I ever forget, like when you're doing the voice note, it's hard to do and be looking at your phone. That way, if you forgot the name of like his business marketing engine, it's right up in front of me, right? Or whatever. It keeps you from stumbling up on your messaging, which throws a lot of people off, especially when you're getting comfortable with it. And I'll touch on that here more in just a second. But Jenny Thompson. So 313 friends, her tagline or From overcoming self-acceptance struggles to empowering others through legacyladies.org, which shows me that she works with primarily ladies. I'm guessing a majority of her followers and her audience is ladies. That doesn't necessarily mean she wouldn't learn from anybody that's not a lady that would help her get more ladies, or get in front of more ladies. So just because somebody works with or serves a market that's not you, I'm not a lady, right? Doesn't stop me from reaching out, because it doesn't mean she's not open to getting help from other people. That's just who she's helping. And I'm glad she's niched down. A lot of women in their offers will relate much more to women. And if you know that and that's what your offer is based toward, you should 100% dial that down. My guesses are, from what I know and kind of, my assessment when I go look at these profiles. Number one, her cover photo doesn't say anything about her offers. It's a nice cover photo of her and her husband, what have you. Maybe you want to use that for more of a profile picture rather than a cover photo. So profile picture is not bad. It looks a bit professional, which is okay. But I think Facebook is a more relational. I think it looks a little more like a LinkedIn photo. But again, profile picture, like I recommend somebody have something relational, like just a headshot or something of them with their child or a spouse, because that's very relatable. So here, depending on which one she liked better, I'd recommend just using one of those in the profile picture and putting a cover photo that kind of represents your brand. If you're doing outreach on Facebook and her bio, since it tags right to the website, and that is her bio, I'm assuming she's using this for outreach, right? So her cover photo should reinforce that, right? Quickly, I'll look at a couple of her content. Got a listing done, expectations. Before I dive in, mind myself for a little self-care. It's essential. That sounds like her message. Yeah, it looks like just a lot of basic images and motivational quotes very early on. So this is all reinforcing kind of what I was looking at. This person is kind of early on in their journey, and they haven't really optimized their profile to reflect their business or to really be effective. It's even hard once your profile is optimized, but it's way harder if it's not. So that's always step one for people. So I'm just going to dive in and talk to her a little about what I see, maybe give her a couple pointers. Normally I don't go into pointers right off the bat. Sometimes I do with the more entry level people, just to say, hey, I'm looking over your profile, it's cool. And your bio kind of tells me, but I'm surprised you don't have your cover photo kind of dialed in to represent your offer, or and I might save that for the second message. We'll see how it goes. Or I could even say, like, are you planning on, are you actually using Facebook to try to, grow an audience and acquire clients? Or are you just using it kind of passively, right? Because if it's a priority of hers, then that gives me the in to give her advice. Just some of my thoughts. But again, I'm going to go in my phone, leave up her profile here. And really quickly, does it say, I don't really want to drop down all the about section. It doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll reference where they're from or whatever, but that doesn't matter so much. So now I'm going to go click message on my phone, and I'm just going to dive right into it. Hey, Jenny. Hey, my name is Ray, and basically I'm reaching out because it appears we became connected here on Facebook in the last day or two. Rather than kind of remain strangers like a lot of people on this platform seem to do, I actually like to connect with and reach out with, everybody that I come across and grow into my network. The reason I had probably sent you a request most likely is we're in some similar groups, or we may be, having some similar likes and interests, right? Because I'm not 100% sure how the Facebook algorithm works, but what I do know is I'm always trying to actively grow my network, and they usually do a pretty solid job of recommending and suggesting folks that are like-minded in terms of being entrepreneurial based, people who are critical thinkers, people who are creators or creative people, So looking over your profile and kind of what you do really quickly in your bio, it looks like you probably tick some of those boxes. Definitely a little more intrigued. You mentioned, overcoming self-acceptance struggles to and empowering others through your legacyladies.org. So just a little more curious, your profile doesn't really talk much more about that, and your cover photo, doesn't really reflect that brand, so it doesn't really show me a lot about what it is. Obviously, I can click and do a little more research, which I will, but would just love to hear from you a little more about what that's about, how long you've been doing it, and what you're looking to accomplish here. Anyhow, hope to hear back from you. Look forward to seeing some more of your content, Jenny, and talk soon. That one went a little longer, and I kind of rambled, which I don't recommend, but sometimes ad-libbing and going off when it's your second nature is fine. Doing this when you're first getting into it, I would probably stick to the more basic. And I have kind of a printout. I don't think I have it up on the screen, but there's kind of 6 steps I go through. And the real whole philosophy, if you guys didn't get it there, is just keep it all about them, right? So number one, I kind of reach out and say, hey, nice to make your acquaintance. And I kind of always go to, it looks like we became connected here in the last day or two, right? You see my my format there. Then I go to kind of dispelling why I'm reaching out. Hey, I'm just always trying to grow my network, and it looks like Facebook recommends, and I don't know how the algorithm works it's a little relatable, and it hits, and it kind of dispels, okay, that makes sense why this person reached out. And then you kind of go into and it looks like you tick some of those boxes and you're like-minded in this sense. So now you're building a little bit of alignment and relation with those people. And then, you talk a little about their thing. Hey, it looks like you've been doing this ladylegacy.org. I didn't get a chance to click on it and go through it quite yet, but I'd love to hear in your own words, like a little more about that, what you do, who you help, and what you're looking to accomplish. And I usually leave it with, look forward to seeing some of your more content. Look forward to seeing some more of your content here. Hope to hear back from you soon. Right. So I keep it all about them, and they're under the impression, I gotta say, I don't always go back and look at their content. Some people I certainly do if I'm interested or it's my feed, but with everybody I'm adding, I don't always go back, but it lets them think like, oh, this person's engaged, they're curious about, and then usually they're going to come back again. And I can play you clips of this when people replying to me, and I'll have probably some updates on these. Obviously, I just sent them very soon, but usually when people come back, they go into what they do, and then they're like, oh, curious a bit more about what you do. So it's human nature, because we kept it all about them, for them to kind of tie into and ask about you. And there's no friction or that kind of awkward transition into speaking about your offer, right? If they come back and just ask you, it's just like you're in a regular conversation, as opposed to most outreach where you're like, hey, I can help you accomplish X or Y. Like you're offering to solve a problem that you haven't even yet assessed and diagnosed, and you don't even know if they'll be helped by the solution you're talking about, whatever that is. What if I can help you lose 10 pounds? What if they don't need to? What if I can help you book 15 calls? My team book 126 calls this month. What is 15? Like, people just reach out and offer things that don't even always help. So I like to keep this relational, all about them. And that's kind of the whole framework that I go through and I do here.